Forsaken. Shifters Forever Worlds. By Elle Thorne. Chapter 1. 8 years of top-notch military training for this? 8 years of serving in the most elite unit of shifter soldiers, protecting a multitude of countries in a coordinated effort. 8 years of killing and avoiding being killed. And this was what he'd become. A glorified damned babysitter. Sure, the pay was good. Damned good. He'd admit that. And the subject was easy on his eyes. He enjoyed the opposite sex. He loved looking at a beautiful, curvy woman. And now he had one as his subject. It was easier to think of her as a subject. At least that way he could distance himself from her. The last thing he needed was entanglements. He bit back the bittersweet smile, trying to slip onto his lips. Half Greek, half Irish, his temper was only matched by his passions. Nikolaos Pappas Niko to his friends, hung up the phone. He was at the Cafeneo in Athens, drinking a cup of thick Turkish coffee, waiting for his subject to come out of the shop across the street. Raphael Tiero had given Niko a choice. He could either pretend to be a guest on the cruise, or he could be an employee. The ship was too small. There were no other options that wouldn't arouse the suspicions of Rafe's baby sister, Sophie Tiero, while Niko kept watch on her. Niko had chosen to be a guest. If he was an employee, he might have been assigned to a task that would keep him from being able to keep an eye on her. And Rafe Tiero's instructions were clear. Take care of my baby sister. Rafe made it sound as if it would be a big job. How hard could it be? Niko already knew what she looked like. A stunning, curvy female. Hair so blonde, he'd never seen the likes of it before. She seemed sweet and mild. The worst he'd have to deal with, he was sure, was the occasional man hitting on her. Mentally he shrugged, but the idea left a bitter taste in his mouth. Why did the idea of another man hitting on her bother him? His panther snarled at him, knowing damned well why it bothered him. Niko had been following the woman for 3 days so far. He'd found himself in one shopping center after another, following her while she shopped. And she rarely bought anything. He was being way too relaxed about his reconnaissance. He should have gone into the store with her. But in a women's dress shop that small, a solo male would be noticed. Plus, after 3 days of watching her go into store after store, he'd seen no logic in following her inside. It wasn't like she had a reason to try to give him the slip. There was no...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?